Okay, so what I wanted to show you is I was given a challenge to make a spiral cut into a tall, thin, sloping bottle. So I wanted to show you how I would do that. So first of all, we need to make a bottle. So let's come in here and we'll do a sketch from the front and start off base here. Top of the bottle, and we'll go with something like this, and then we will, okay, then we're going to set a dimension on this, so we'll set a dimension on this. And I'm going to switch to inches. And so let's say this is going to be, I don't know, let's make it maybe, we'll say 10 inches. So we'll make it 10 inches. All right, I'm going to switch that back to millimeters. And let's move it in just a little bit. Maybe move this in a little bit. And we need to fillet that junction right there. Why is that giving me a hard time? Okay, I think I'm going to pull that in, so more about like that. Okay, and then maybe fill it there. Okay, I like that. Then we need to put a fillet here. As a matter of fact, I think what I might try to do is maybe I'll bow the bottom a little bit. So let's do a 3-point. Actually, we'll just do. Just do us a curve from here. Like this. I'll pull that down a little bit. Okay, we can trim out. And let's trim this one in there. And then maybe a little roundness right here. And that'll give us a good foot. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, I think I'm going to try for that. I'll always come back and adjust it later, so we'll finish that. And then we're going to do a revolve. So and pick our pivot. And so we got a bottle, something like this. Actually, I think that bottom's a little wide. Let's go back and edit sketch. And I want that. Maybe not as much. Oops. By the way, if you hold down the control key when you're moving something, you can temporarily turn that snap off. And maybe make this a little bit smaller. All right, maybe that. Yikes. I'm overly constrained here, so. All right, I think I'm going to go with that. Okay. So there is our bottle. Yeah, still think that's too skinny. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, we'll go with that. All right, now we got to cut a spiral through this. So to do that, we're going to create a new sketch from the front. And I want this sketch to be a straight line down the center. I want it to be past the bottom here, so I'm going to go right about here. And then I don't want it to go all the way top because this is going to be the path of the spiral, and I need space at the top where I can put some, actually we'll just extend it. So we'll go right about here. I don't want to go all the way top, and the reason is that I'm going to extrude the top up to put the threads on it. So I don't want it to hit this top piece. So I'm going to go right about there. All right, so now I need to put a line out here, and I need this line to go out far enough that it's further out than the bottom. Okay, it's got to be further out than the bottom. It can't go too far out. So, you know, it's okay if it's further out. Something like this. That looks pretty good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use a sweep for this, okay? But what we're going to do is use a sweep not with the solid modeling tools, which is in here. We want to be with surface here, and we're going to do a sweep. Okay, so it's going to pick the profile, which is this, and then the path, which is this, and then it's going to make me a sheet that goes straight down. Now the trick is that I can twist this sheet. So over here, you'll see there's tools for a twist. And so if I type in something like 360 degrees, it's going to twist around it. And I'm going to do 3,600. It's just according to how many grooves you want to cut in it. Maybe that's too many. Let's go 2,400. Yeah. And so you're doing this spiral, and that's where we're going to cut into this. All right, we're going to click OK. Now, while we're in this surface modeling, we're going to go here, which is trim, where we can trim this. So what we're going to do is pick the centerpiece. Now, yours might be able to pick the whole thing, but it might go in pieces. Okay, so I'm going to pick that, and then I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to trim that. So it's going to trim it up to the edge of it. Now, we may have to do a trim a couple of times. So we may come in here, repeat this, and pick this top one, and then pick this, and cut it off there, and then we got the bottom one too. Let's turn off this grid for a second. So I'm going to repeat that, pick this, and then pick this, and then that'll cut that all the way through there. And that'll be fine, that's going across it there. This piece out here will be fine. Okay, so what that's done is created us a little spiral. We can hide the body here. We created a little spiral in which the edge of it will match right onto the edge, matches our shape here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new sketch, but we want to do an offset plane to sketch on. To do that, what I'm going to do is do a construction plane, but I'm going to do a plane along a path, and then I'm going to pick this path, and you will notice that it broke right here. So I'm going to hold down the control key. I need to pick the whole path. I'm going to pick control here. Make sure you've got the whole path picked. And then on our distance here, we need it to be 1, which means it's going to put it up there at the top. So it's putting us right up there where this starts to, right at the tip of where the spiral is. So I'm going to create a new sketch, and it'll be at the 0, 0 right here. And I'm just going to create a circle right here. And we can always come back later after we do this and adjust the size of this circle if it's too big for the cut. Okay, so we'll finish that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to solid modeling now, and we're going to create a sweep. Now it's going to want our profile, which is this curve, and then it's going to want our path, which is this. And I need to make sure I hold the control key, and then I pick the entire path. And then it's going to cut through it. And that's probably fine. I'm going to click OK. And then that's cut into that in a spiral. And we can turn that body off now. All right, then we want to pull this up a little bit. It's going to be a little close there, maybe that. And then I need to put fillets on this, so I'm going to right-click a fillet, and that'll go all the way down. And I have no idea how big this is, so it's going to need to be much bigger than that. So maybe 1. Might go a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, I think I'll leave that. Put that in. Then I'll need to put a little fillet on this, around this. So what we want to do is there's kind of a sweet spot where we get rid of that flat spot in there. So let's see what it is. Just a hair over that. Oh, you dog. Too much. So sensitive. Okay, 7 is too much. 6 is too much. Oops. 5. Yeah, there we go. And set that in. Okay, and then we would come in here and extrude for the top. And initially, I would say don't join this. Make it as a new body. We'll join it back in a second. All right, I need to create a sketch on this top. And the reason we're doing that is we need to put a point on that. And then we're going to create a thread here, model there. And I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and leave that on the default right now. We need to put a, oh, I already have it in here. We need a section analysis. Okay. I need that so that I can tell how far we're pulling it out. And actually, I think what I want to do is let's hollow it out before. So I'm going to roll that thread back and let's make it hollow and then put the thread in. So let's give it a thickness. And oops, I want the thickness. Go here. Let's see how thick I want to make this. That's not bad. Let's make it something that we can. We'll go 1.7 so we can remember what it is. And click OK. And then we'll do the same to this one. And 1.7. Well, I can't do that. All right. We're going to just delete that. And let's do an extrude from this surface. And we're going to do it as a new body. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Okay, that'll work better. All right, so now let's put our threads on it. All right, so now we need to pull this out. I want it a little bit bigger. It's too much. That looks pretty good. All right, let's go with that, because that will work with our liquid. Okay, then we can join these, this one and this one. And we want it to be joined, not cut. Click OK. And it didn't join it, and the reason is let's try it again. Okay, the reason it's not joining is that there's a little bit of a gap in there, so what we're going to do is to go move. Go here. Oh, it did join it. All right, it made me a copy of it, is what it did. Okay. Here we go. All right, let's take it over here and let's look at it. Go to our render settings. What's a tall bottle? Let's go here. We got it on the That's probably all right. Let's hide this down here. Okay. And let's put a glass on this. Okay, let's see what we're getting here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, let's go make liquid for it. Okay, let's turn on our color here, and then we're going to make us an offset plane from the bottom to where we want the liquid to go to. That's probably okay right there. Okay. Yeah, that'll look good. Okay, so we're going to do a boundary fill. So boundary fill, pick the top, pick here, And then we're going to select the cell that we want, which we want this top one right here. And click OK, and that'll make us our liquid. So this is our bottle. And this is our liquid. All right, so it's kind of odd how it didn't fill it in. It just kind of cloned it. All right, so let's see how we're going to fix this. Okay, this is what we do. Go back to surface. We don't need that construction plane anymore. So what we want to do is delete the top. And that'll give us an inside and outside. So that's the inside. So we don't need this outside, so we can remove that. Let's turn off our section analysis. And so then we want to cap this. So what you want to do is put a patch on this. So pick that and patch it. And then we need to stitch it. Where we stitch this and that, it'll turn green. And we'll stitch that together. And now we've got the inside part. Okay, so we want that to swell out now. So we're going to pick everything, but then hold down the Shift key and deselect the top. And we want to be in solid, and we're going to do an offset face, and then we turn the bottle back on and our section. And let's look at it from the front. It's getting close here. And I'm not sure how much we'll want to offset this. Oops, that's way too much. So it's going to be like maybe a little bit more than that, maybe. I kind of think of it that you want to be in the center and then not quite as much. So that's pretty good right there. Okay, let's hide the bottle. I don't like that sharp. I wonder why it didn't give us our fillets. Okay, let's set that in. Okay, so that's soft too. Okay. All right, let's do this. We'll make this a little bit easier. If I take this liquid and I right click on it and tell it to make a new component, it'll put it down here by itself, and then it'll be a different color. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we just need our meniscus on the top. So we go to surface here, offset, pull it up some, and then we need to thicken this, make it really thick. And then we want to scale that out a little bit. So we want to do a sketch on the top and create a point right in the center. Finish that. Then I can go back to solid, scale, pick this, bit center points. What we need to do is, let's make this active here so the sketch is on it here. Okay, then scale. Select this, and I want to scale it from its center. And then pull it out. Doesn't have to be very much, just a little bit. And then we can fillet this. That's going to be a problem. I bet you I can't fillet that. It's going to be a problem that I let that hit that edge. Can I not just do a press pull on that till I get it above that? Yeah, that's what I should do. All right, let's do that again. Surface, offset, thicken, solid, scale this from that pivot point. Scale out a little bit. And then fillet this. Big fillet. Alright, then what I'm going to squash this. So I'm going to scale again. And I'm going to make a non-uniform scale from this point. I can squash it a little bit. So my question is that going to clip in? Nah, it's probably fine. All right, let's move this so it clips down into that. Boy, it's going to be quite close in there. Let's move it down. Maybe like that. All right. So let's combine this one and that one with the cut. And then I can. All right, so now there's our meniscus. in the bottle. Yay! We're not clipping into anything there. All right, let's go back to render. And let's turn off the sketches. All right, so maybe about a 60 on our focal length. I know a lot of them default to 90. We could go with that. All right, let's make us our liquid. So let's go glass color. Let's go with this one. That's going to go on this. And let's start rendering. And this is going to be our liquid. And this is going to be our glass. And on our liquid, let's go I don't mind the blue. It's not bad. Let's make it a little bit more dense. Let's go maybe 60. A little more dense. And maybe 126. That's probably too low. Actually, I like that. Maybe just a little denser. And let's save us a named view here. This will be our main camera. All right, I'm going to pause it while it renders. Okay, so there you go, final rendering. And that's how you can approach doing a spiral cut into a sloped bottle. All right, hopefully it helps you. Thank you very much.